Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my nook. It's currently 6:34 a.m. The reason I'm talking to you guys already at this hour of the day is because in this video I am going to do a 24-hour reading marathon, and I am so excited, but I'm also intimidated. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to sleep in between because I know that if I don't sleep enough, my brain just starts to lag, and the next day I just won't be a properly functioning human being, and that just won't be fun. So it'll be more fun if I just sleep. But I am going to try to do nothing else but reading, except for obviously things like eating, maybe going outside, stuff like that. Before we actually start with reading, a quick reading update. Yesterday I finished Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is the second book in the Caraval trilogy. It was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll give you a full review in my next reading wrap up. Today we are going to read Finale, which is, as the title says, the last book in the Caraval trilogy. And oh my gosh, this book is 470 pages long. And I have to tell you, I am a slow reader. While other people may be able to read like 100 pages within an hour, it takes me like 2 to 3 hours to read 100 pages. I tried it out once and it just takes me 1.5 to 2 minutes to read one page. Obviously depending on the page size and the text size and what kind of book it is. But this is a challenge for me, and this video is about challenges. And challenges can be fun, and that's what this is about. It doesn't matter whether you're a slow reader or a fast reader, as long as you're enjoying reading. I did check the audiobook for this book. Sadly, the hold did not come through at my library in time. The audiobook for Finale is 12 hours long. So technically, the narrator manages to read through the book within 12 hours, right? So I should be able to read through the book within 12 hours, right? That makes sense, right? That's my maths. But finishing this book will never happen if I don't start. Also, please don't mind if you see any kind of Minions posters. I'm at my parents' house, so I'm in my old child's bedroom. Let's start the timer. I am 42 minutes into the 24 hours now, and I just finished chapter 5. I'm on page 30, and the chapters always say like chapter so and so Donatella. I'm guessing that we're getting point of views from both sisters, maybe? But I stopped the timer now because I'm gonna eat breakfast. I just finished page 102 and I'm at hour 2 and 48 minutes, and it is the way I expected, we are getting the POVs of both sisters in this book. This book is not holding back on things. Stuff has already happened, okay? Stuff has already happened. I had expected the first 100 pages to take me 3 to 3.5 hours, and I finished them in less than 3 hours. So that makes me think the last time I measured my reading pace was quite a while ago, and I've read a lot since then, so have I become faster at reading? I don't know, but that would be pretty cool. Me again. Who else would it be? I just passed the 4-hour mark. I'm at 4 hours and 4 minutes now, and I also just finished chapter 19, so I'm on page 144 now. But I am going to take a break now and make myself some lunch. I'm stopping the timer every time I'm doing anything else than reading. So while eating breakfast, eating lunch, cooking lunch, I stop the timer. I am now on page 157 and I am on my 4.5 reading hour. I've been reading for 4.5 hours. I'm gonna try to get some more reading in now. Back again for another update. I just finished page 202 and I am reading for 5 hours and 38 minutes now. Things are happening in the book. Oh my god. Intense, to say the least. But since I'm on page 202, I am pretty confident that I'll be able to finish half of the book today. I am going to go outside now and water the flowers in the garden and maybe listen to a podcast while doing that, and I'll continue reading afterwards. I have just finished page 236 of Finale, which means that I am officially halfway through the book. I'm currently at hour 6 and 40 minutes, and also now I think with a sentence that was sad, I think I know what's going to happen. I think. But I'm really intrigued about that. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna stop reading now because I feel like I should probably go to sleep. I'll keep the timer so I can then continue reading tomorrow starting at hour 6 and 40 minutes. So see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is currently 6:54 a.m. I kind of calculated. I didn't kind of calculate it. I actually did calculate it. There are 17 hours and 20 minutes left of this reading marathon. I kind of don't want to stretch this reading marathon for 4 days. So I calculated that I will have to read for 8 hours and 40 minutes each day now, today and tomorrow, if I want to finish the reading marathon in 3 days. I'm hoping that I can read more than 8 hours and 40 minutes today. But oh my gosh, that'll be really a challenge. But that's what this is, right? But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna start reading now. Okay, hi. It is quite a bit later from the last time we spoke. It is now 3:42 p.m. and I have been reading for a total of 11 hours and 14 minutes now, and I have just finished page 403, and I have shed a tear since the last time we spoke. I'm not going to lie. I'm gonna power through the last less than 70 pages now, and then maybe I'll take a bit of a break before I see what I'm gonna read after that. Oh my god, I haven't even thought about that. Now would you look at that? We passed the 12-hour mark. Not we, I, but you too, kind of. Oh my god. At this point, I have about 40 pages left of the book. I'm so close to finishing it. You've probably just seen my reaction. I just finished finally. Oh my god. I'm at 12 hours and 48 minutes now. I can't stop smiling right now. I think I need to let this sit for a bit. That was definitely a roller coaster. This book was amazing. I enjoyed it so much. That much I can say. This book, this whole series, I just finished the series. I need to figure out what to read now. But I'll find something. Okay, I had let it sink in a bit. At the end of finale, after the actual book was over, the author had added some deleted scenes, so I read those. Then I realized that there was still an additional chapter that an author released to a book that I've read a few months ago, but I still had not read the additional chapter yet, so I did that, and I am now pretty much exactly 14 hours and 1 minute. I know my goal was to get to 15 hours and 40 minutes today, but I would have to read an entire... No, 15 hours and 20 minutes was my goal. Oh my god, I'm confusing things already. My brain is getting foggy. I'm just thinking, that would either mean that I would have to read for 10 hours tomorrow, but I barely managed to read for 8 hours today. So I don't think I can do 10 hours in one day, objectively. I might have to stretch this challenge on 4 days, which is exactly what I did not want to do, but maybe I just have to accept where my limits are, I guess. Well, it is another day. I think I have come to terms with potentially having to stretch this challenge over 4 days instead of my anticipated 3 days, because I realized that even reading for 6 hours or a full 7 hours or more than that in one single day is a huge challenge for me already. I can push myself a little bit to test my limits, of course, but I don't have to push myself to unnecessary extremes, you know. And yesterday I've really noticed how much my I don't even know whether it's my body or my brain, but something in me was screaming desperately for other activities than reading. And it wasn't that I didn't enjoy reading. I was enjoying reading, but I would have also been enjoying other things, you know? I'm just gonna see how many hours I can read today, and then we'll just do the rest tomorrow, and that's gonna be fine. So my plan for today is to first read What If by Randall Munroe for a while. We're gonna do that so I can give my brain a little time to calm down from finale, and so I can process the entire Caraval series, at least a little bit. But then, the book I'm gonna start is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. That is literally so lucky, because the audiobook for this book came through 2 days ago, and I'm really excited. Let me check quickly how many pages it has. 361. That's more than 100 pages less than finale. Let's start with What If first. Is he done now? I think he's done. I have been reading for a little over an hour now. I've read almost 30 pages of What If. By the way, if you guys don't know, What If by Randall Munroe is a non-fiction book full of weird and strange and most of all absurd, hypothetical questions that the author answers very scientifically serious. And I absolutely love this book. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but I absolutely adore this book. My mom and I are gonna go eat breakfast out now, and afterwards I am going to start reading Something Wilder. Hi, checking in with you guys because I have just finished chapter 9 and page 100 of Something Wilder by Christina Lauren, and I am now at 17 hours and 39 minutes. So far, I'm really into this book. I really like 5 out of 6 of the mostly main characters that have been introduced so far. And I have a very strong sense that the 6th character is not supposed to be liked. This book is about Lily and Leo. Lily is the daughter of a notorious treasure hunter, and she is basically doing treasure hunts for tourists. And Lily and Leo used to be together. That's not a spoiler, it says that on the back of the book. And something happened that threw them apart, and now it's been a while since they've last seen each other, and they run into each other again. Yeah, so let's see where this book is going. I'm gonna get back to reading this now. Oh, also, the audiobook for this is pretty good. So, you just saw I've passed hour 20 of my reading marathon. Oh my god, that's so amazing. That means that I only have 4 hours left for tomorrow. And also, I've just finished reading page 184, which means I'm done with more than half of this book. Remember the last time I checked in with you about this book and I was like, I'm enjoying this and I like the characters except for one. Yeah, literally 10 pages later, things took a turn. Holy smokes. And at times I was like, what the hell is happening? So I totally understand the sentiment that some people have of what kind of book am I even reading? But I don't mind it. I'm enjoying it. Good morning to the last day of my reading marathon. Oh my god, I still kind of can't believe it. I have already had breakfast, I washed my hair, I made myself a nice cup of tea. My camera's blinking, the battery is low. Okay, hi. Switched cameras. I just switched to my phone camera. There was another thing I wanted to share. I always take notes in my Notion app while reading a book, even when I'm not filming. I just write down thoughts or feelings about the book, just anything that comes to my mind. And okay, I have to put a spoiler warning before this. If you have not read Something Wilder by Christina Lauren and do not want to be spoiled for it, you should skip ahead to the time that is displayed here right now to skip over the spoiler, okay? Okay, you have been warned. I'm going to drop it now. So I told you that there were 5 out of 6 characters that I liked and one that was most definitely not supposed to be liked. So at the very start of the book, I wrote down in my Notion, hope they get rid of Terry somehow. He sucks. And boy, did they get rid of Terry. Oh my god. I did not realize this until this morning. I wrote that down way before shit went down in the book. Okay, I just had to share that because I just cannot believe that actually happened. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down in the living room now with my cup of tea and the book and continue reading and check in with you again later. The last hour of the reading marathon has begun. I have just finished page 308 of Something Wilder, and when I checked my phone I saw that the 23-hour mark had passed. Oh my gosh. There is now about 1.5 hours of the audiobook left. And I'm actually thinking of doing a little overtime. There's only going to be half an hour of this book left once the actual 24 hours are done, so I might just finish it. I might just add those 30 minutes and finish the second book. Right? Yeah. Okay. Guess what just happened? Oh my god. I have been reading for 24 hours. Wow. That is crazy. I actually did it. I've read for 24 hours and I did nothing else the past 4 days except for reading. Let's do a quick update, shall we? At this point, I am on the middle of page 344. So there are less than 20 pages left. And I'm definitely going to do a little overtime now so I can just finish this book still in the marathon. I'm just going to still count it. And then we're going to talk a bit more about this book and about the entire reading marathon. Hi, I have finished the reading marathon. And I've also finished Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This book, holy smokes, it sure was a ride. going into this book, I had already known that this book is different from the other books that they have written so far, but I was still not prepared for this, and I was still not expecting exactly what I got. I sure enjoyed it. That's something I can say. Now for a full review, you'll have to wait for my next reading wrap-up, I think. Because I also think that I will have to let this sit for a bit before I can actually gather all my thoughts on this book. Oh my. But I have finished it! Oh my gosh. Okay, now let's wrap up the reading marathon. I knew from the very start that I would not be able to sit through 24 hours straight. I knew that was not going to happen. And even though I only read for 6 or 7 hours per day, it was still a huge challenge for me. And that's what this whole reading marathon still was, even though I didn't even try to read for 24 hours in a row. It was still a huge challenge for me, and I accomplished it, and I'm so surprised by myself, so positively surprised, and I'm actually kind of astonished just how I managed this. A few months ago, I thought even reading 70 or 80 or 90 or 100 pages in one single day was insane to me. But those reading 100 pages, reading 120 pages in one day, reading 130 pages on one day only happened every few weeks. It's not the usual case that this happens to me, reading so many pages in one day, because I said this at the beginning, I'm a slow reader, so it just takes me a lot of time to read that many pages, and my day only has so many hours. And so considering that the last 4 days I have read 229 pages in one day, 245 pages in one day, 206 pages in one day, and 167 pages in one day is mind-blowing to me. I did not know or even expect that I was actually capable of doing this. I know this might sound ridiculous to some people, but this is a huge thing for me. It's really special to me, and I'm kind of proud of myself, to be honest. All in all, I have read for a total of 24 hours and 22 minutes. A little overtime, but I'm going to count it. That means that I have read 6 hours and 5.5 minutes on average per day during this reading marathon. In total, I have read 847 pages. And during this challenge, I have finished Finale by Stephanie Garber, the 3rd book in the Caraval trilogy, and Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. 2 pretty different books, let's say that much. I will most probably take a small break from reading for at least half a day. But all that aside, I still enjoyed this. I still enjoy reading, obviously, and I enjoyed escaping into these worlds for so long, even when it was a challenge at some points. I absolutely hope that you also enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give it a thumbs up, and perhaps check out my Instagram account. I'll link it below. Then I'll see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye!